How's it going today? Lawless King Lights. Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
We're Dwayne N Jazz. Today we have for you the Batman.
Do the voice again.
The Batman. Batman. The Batman official spoiler review? We're doing spoilers, right? Spoiler review. So if you don't want to, hear the spoilers, go watch it and come back. First of all, this movie's 3 hours long.
Yes.
And I could tell a little bit, just a little bit, in certain spots for me. Personally, for me.
You said it's 3 hours and I can tell.
A little bit for me. It was a couple spots at the end of the movie where I was like, they could have really sped it up.
There were some scenes that were kind of like drug out a little bit. Like, I was like, okay, let's speed this up.
Yeah, but it was an amazing movie, a fire movie, and I enjoyed it. I don't want to hear nobody talking mess about Robert Pattinson ever again, because he was a great Batman, okay?
I mean, he's been in other movies other than Twilight.
I know, but when you do something that's, they're like, that's your legacy, right? You know what I'm saying? So they're like, him playing Batman, he killed it, okay? He did great he did great as Batman. So I don't want to hear nothing, and he don't have to be super jacked to be Batman, because everybody like, he gotta be super duper jacked. I'm like, he did.
I mean, I get why they're saying that though. Yeah. Because like even when we first saw that he was gonna be Batman, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, because he's not the biggest dude. So and not that he has to be beefy, bulky like Bane or anything like that. I'm just saying like he's not as big as I would picture a Batman to be.
But also you gotta know that this movie is based upon him being Batman for only 2 years, so it's the second year.
Yeah, he's still kind of like
he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore, so I ain't even mad at him. And all the other people that were in here, Penguin,
Zoe Kravitz
as Catwoman, great,
she did it, girl. I love every time I saw her nails. I was like, you see her nails?
and her wig game, I was like, oh, that's a good wig, you know what I mean? But yeah, they were all great, and the different storylines, they had like 4 different storylines that all intertwined. And let's talk about the villain, the Riddler. It was like, and I'm like, some of the stuff was like Jigsaw, like level.
Yeah, like there was a scene like where he got in the back of the DOA's car, and like he beat him unconscious, but then he was like putting something on him, and it looked like you know how like those little like neck braces have like a locking mechanism. I was like, are we Jigsaw now?
Right. I was like, I said, boy. And then they also had that thing with the thumb drive. Oh my God.
Yeah. Thumb drive and had a thumb in order for you to get it. And
it was like, okay, those are some pretty funny, clever ways of like riddles, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because like I seen the Riddler before, they always make him look jokey and clowny. Like this one.
Well, I mean, that kind of is.
I mean, but
this one's more different.
Like, he's definitely dark, and then the stuff that they, it was like Detective Batman as well. So he was kind of, he's like one of the greatest. But I'm saying like most of the movies are not like him, like searching and figuring stuff out, piecing stuff together and stuff like that. This movie showcased that, highlighted that more than the other ones, I would say.
I just like that it was showing, like, as far as like the Riddler goes, it was kind of like making you think like, ooh, is he really doing something wrong? Because
I mean, Gotham,
going after people that
Gotham
corrupt
is trash.
And that's basically what they say throughout the whole movie. Like, yo, Gotham is Denzel. This place sucks, bro. Like, don't try to fix it. It's already dirty. It's gonna stay dirty. The stain ain't gonna come out.
And then it's like,
too hard.
Batman's having a losing fight.
He's like, man, this is even worth it. Like,
it's my city. I have to rep it. You know what I'm saying? And this the cleverness of the movie, the vibe of the movie, the Penguin chasing. And you guys seen it on the trailer when the camera flipped and the car moved, and oh my God, that scene was so lit.
I loved it.
That scene. You don't understand how lit that scene, bro.
I knew the chase scene was gonna start as soon as I heard that joint rev up.
That muscle car, the all-black muscle car.
The car rev up, and you just saw it in the darkness, and you just see like a little rocket in the back. I was like, oh yes. I was like, yes.
He almost made me want to go get a Challenger, and Jazz was with it too. She was like, yes, get that Challenger. She was like,
it won't be like the Batmobile.
It won't be like the Batmobile, but like, and that's like the early Batmobile too. For him figuring it, I just loved it. And it had Alfred in it. He wasn't in it that long though.
Yeah, he was in there a little bit.
A little bit. Some things happened with with their relationship and they're talking. I liked it. I liked their like whole relationship.
They really didn't like dive into like what happened. To get him there.
Yeah, they didn't do it. And I kind of like that stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say because we all know.
Because we've seen it. We've seen it multiple times I'd rather them just to get into it. It's the same thing they did with other movies where they're like, no origin, we just gonna get into it. Let's get into it, right? Yeah, and I kind of started like that with Hollywood. Like they realizing like, yo, we don't need a reboot, like his origin and all that. No, we can just get into him doing what he doing.
I like the fight scenes too. The fight scenes were amazing. They felt real.
Batman was brutal.
I love it. Yes. Especially like when he did the little shot of adrenaline and then like he was
the camera, no camera shakes, no cuts, just straight violence. I am vengeance, and like it's a great movie.
Like his hits look like they hurt.
I know.
That's how I wanted it.
You know, in the trailer when he was fighting like those goons and he had the little shock thing and he was shocking them, man, and he was holding it. He wasn't letting them go. He was holding that, man. I was like, oh, this is pure. This is just pure Batman that everybody wanted. So I enjoy this movie.
I found this version of Riddler to be a little weird, but I was trying to adjust
he kind of like
the new version.
I think it's like, I'm not gonna even lie a little bit. This is my interpretation. I hope nobody gets angry. I felt like a little bit like one part of the movie you'll get to, and he kind of feels like an incel, and like that's what I think what kind of vibe he was going for, because he was like, my whole life I've been invisible, and that's how some of those people feel, like invisible. They're not seen or heard, and they want to feel empowered. And now you got like they're basically becoming these cults, and it's more easier than ever to get into one of those things online. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the vibe I kind of got from how he was when they made the reveal for Riddler. And that's a little bit how my interpretation now. But like that's why I'm like he does seem a little he's deranged. I'm not gonna lie. He's hella deranged.
I do like the riddles though that he was saying.
The riddles, Jasmine was making the Jasmine was like, oh, I know that one.
I figured
what's that one with the liar? What do you call a dead liar?
He said, what do liars do when they're dead?
Yeah,
and then I said, still lie. And then they said, lie still. I was like,
I got to write a little bit, right?
I got to write, still the same thing.
Yeah. You're a little nerd in you. She be doing crossword puzzles. There's this little game we play. What is that thing? When you move the number. I like it too. 2048. I like it too, okay? But when I first saw her, I said, you're such a nerd. She was over there doing, and it looked fun. I'm a nerd too, so I had to try.
But they also introduced at the end, it was for a little bit, Joker.
We didn't get a good look of his face though.
Yes, so I can't really tell like who was playing him. But like he was like, talking to Riddler in the jail cell next to him and saying like, so he was just on his little speech.
They was having a little bromance.
Yes, I didn't know who the villain was because it sounded like a younger version. So that's why I was like, I don't know who this could possibly be because there's a lot of villains in Gotham. And then he mentioned the clown. I was like, all right, it's Joker. Yeah. And then he did his laugh, which I'm not personally a fan of, but I think that's just me comparing it to Mark Hamill's because his laugh is the best Joker laugh in history. So if you gonna do it as a newcomer, you gotta.
But you don't want to steal his sauce either. You kind of want to try to.
You're not stealing it. You trying to bring it back to life.
I don't know. Yeah.
You're like, come on now.
I guess so.
I don't know. So when I heard the laugh, I was like, okay.
And then I was like, I can't see. It was so dark. I'm like, just like the DC.
But I think that was intense. Well, the whole movie was dark. First
the whole movie was dark and brooding. Okay, you want to brood Batman? That's what's it.
The whole movie had no sunlight. There was not a day.
There was barely any day scenes. It was night.
And if it was nighttime, it looked like night.
About to be morning, then back to night.
Like it might be because of the smog too. Like it's so much smog and like just a terrible city. And dirty. You saw that trash?
Yeah. It's trash everywhere.
City, so it might
apartments trash.
It might have been daytime, but we didn't know because it was so smoggy. So.
Yeah. It was great. And also they have like make sure you stay past the credits, okay? They have like a little Easter egg at the end. It's really fast.
Yeah, it's like
a second. Maybe you'll miss it if you blank. Oh, all right. So what do you think about the movie? What do you give it? What's your rating?
An 8.
You give it an 8. What would have made it a 10?
If they didn't have those dragged out.
The couple.
Scenes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There was a certain.
I felt the same way.
Somebody was getting the shotgun reloaded. And Batman was just hanging. Yeah. And he was taking the longest time. Yeah. Because I'm thinking if somebody's beating me up and then I get them on the rope or something, I'm a.
But then you might mess. But it's a shotgun, so you might mess around and drop it because you gotta actually. Those are precise.
No, I get it, but like he just did it way too slow. I'm like, dang, we already know he's not gonna fly. Come on now.
Right, we know this.
Like we know, let Catwoman swoop in and save him. We know that's gonna happen. Right. So if that.
Or someone save him.
If scenes like that didn't happen,
and What else?
That Joker laugh kind of got me a little too.
So you took a point down just for the Joker laugh?
Like 0.2.
Oh my God.
That Joker laugh.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. That scene right there kind of got me. There was another scene when Batman had to retrace his steps. I was like, no.
Oh, and then there was another scene like, cause when they got to Riddler's apartment, all the cops were there and stuff like that, and looking through everything, and then they saw that, like he said, like the little card said my confession, and then they saw the little murder tool or whatever, and then we left that scene, came back.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Let's add on to it. They came back, and then they brought up the same murder tool that was seen before. Yeah. And then the cop was like, oh yeah, I know what that is, and that's this. Why wasn't that said the first time we were there? Right?
Yeah.
Picking up the same weapon twice, and on the second time is when we get information on what that weapon is.
Yeah.
Which leads to something. So why didn't we?
In the moment you're not in the moment, but in the moment they were doing they were trying to figure out what's going on, because the way I ain't gonna spoil that. The way what was going on and what happened was lit. So in the moment they're not thinking about, they're not getting their investigative mind, their escape room mind on it. They probably just I'm trying to do this.
I was like, but that would have been helpful the first time I came.
Yeah, I get that.
That's why I gave it an 8.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 just because that a couple of those scenes I felt like
it's
dragged a little bit.
Movie,
it's still a great movie for 3 hours. I was highly entertained all the way through.
I was very entertained.
Yeah, I was like those parts were I feel like that part was predictable. I think that part was predictable for me personally, my opinion that I said, and I was like, okay, they could have made it better or switched it up, because every other thing about it was unpredictable. You didn't know what was gonna happen, what was gonna. It was and certain parts make you anxious. Great movie. 9 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would look at that. It's still good. If you are a DC Batman fan, go check it out. This is our opinion. No murderers in the comments. Anyway, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, share.